feel like it's not appropriate, their response, they can go to an information commissioner and get an outside opinion to adjudicate whether that is due them in the public interest versus national security.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, well, residents standing in solidarity in South Andros this morning as they say they are tired of being overlooked and they're calling on government to intervene. We have the full story coming up in just a moment, but first, nice cool weather conditions in the capital this evening. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and welcome everybody for a quick check on conditions outside the studios and around the island. 74 degrees with just a few clouds, slightly warm. Winds out of the west at 9 miles per hour and your feels like temperature is at 73. Satellite radar composite showing a very weak front trying to move into the northwest Bahamas. That's falling apart as it continues to push towards the south. High pressure across the remainder of the islands will slide it towards the east. We expect this front to continue to weaken as it slides south. High pressure will build behind that, but we do expect another front by the weekend, and that one will introduce a good chance for some showers by that time frame. That's your first check on conditions outside our studios and around the island. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come in our news, residents in South Andros taking part in a demonstration this morning. We will tell you their concerns straight ahead. Plus, local vendors and current travelers sounding off about the Bahamas increasing port taxes for cruise passengers this year. The story when our news continues.
Ring in the new year with the specials.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm an 18-year-old freshman at the University of the Bahamas, and I'm a computer science major. I'm also the NT Corporation's Youth Ambassador for the Environment, and I'm an environmentalist. My journey as the environmental advocate began with a simple yet profound realization that our environment is degrading right in front of my eyes. And being NT's Youth Ambassador for the Environment means that my words and my actions hold the power to help change the environment and the world around me. I find it exciting that I can be a student, live my life, and use my words and my voice to change the environment and world around me. Most times I think it's a privilege. It's our environment and it's our generation to own. I don't think as a young person that there is anything more rewarding than being a part of bringing awareness. I'm Michaela Kerr, and I'm making a difference in my own words.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Residents demonstrating in South Andros this morning looking to get the attention of government. They say they are tired of being overlooked while other family islands seem to be progressing. Megan Shepard reports.
These holes in the road, they don't have PLD in the road, they don't have F&M in the road, they have Andros potholes in the roads that needs to be fixed.
Residents in South Andros say years of frustration have built up and boiled over, leading to a peaceful demonstration Thursday morning over poor road conditions in their communities. Businessman and resident of Pleasant Bay, South Andros, Julian Gibson, says residents are fed up of hearing about developments on other family islands, saying it seems as though Andros is constantly left out.
We've been having to deal with bad roads, whether it's Little Creek, Deep Creek, or Black Point for months and months. And icing was on the cake. Then we heard the Minister of Works announce plans for roads for Exuma, roads for Abaco. During the by-election, they signed a contract for roads for Bimini. They promised Cat Island is there. They have roads Cat Island over Andros, so we decided to speak out.
Gibson says the demonstration, planned days in advance, drew a cross-section of frustrated residents. However, it also drew the attention of officials. He says on Tuesday, some roads were patched, which he describes as adding insult to injury.
For months and months now, they know a certain piece of road in South Andros was bad. Little Creek and Deep Creek was a bad piece of road. So they know about the demonstration. They know we was demonstrating this. So see what they do. Scrape the road and sugarcoat it, and you're supposed to have smooth feelings and not upset. No, be even more upset, because that's insult. That's just like putting a Band-Aid on you and you decide you need surgery.
He says they are also dealing with a number of infrastructural issues as well. Overall, Gibson says South Andros residents want the same attention being given to other islands. Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepard.
All right, thanks, Megan. Now, we reached out to Ministry of Works officials, but there was no response up to news time. Well, travel blogs are buzzing with the news of the Bahamas increasing port taxes for cruise passengers this year. But what do local vendors and current travelers think? We took to the streets to find out. Last year, the passenger tax for cruise passengers traveling through Freeport, Bimini, and Nassau's cruise ports was $18 per passenger. But as of January 1st, 2024, that tax has risen to $23 with an additional $7 in sustainability and tourism enhancement taxes per passengers. Of the over 8 million visitors who came to the Bahamas shores between January and October of last year, officials say over 6.2 million of those were cruise ship passengers, bringing in over $111.6 million from that $18 passenger tax. If we saw the same amount of cruise ship passengers in 2024, the new taxes would bring that up to $186 million, a $74.4 million increase over the year before. Well, we asked vendors on Junkanoo Beach whether or not they feel the increase in the passenger tax will impact the decision of travelers to choose the Bahamas as their destination.
In any event, the Bahamas is a world destination. The tourists are going to come here in any event. Whether the tax go up or down, they're going to still come to the Bahamas. That's my view.
Everything is going up. So with the inflation going on, taxes have to go up as well. So I don't think it'll affect us majorly, and that's not going to stop someone from taking a cruise, those couple of dollars. And hopefully we get more people to come.
And we also heard from some of the travelers themselves, many of whom we spoke to off camera said they didn't have an awareness of the tax at all.
I think it won't have much of an impact because of all the fees that are included in the cruise. You won't even see it, and people would just think that it's probably just inflation or something like that that went up. That's my perspective, at least.
So I don't have a problem paying for the extra taxes for this if it helps to improve the Bahamas, because I mean, we were on Freeport 2 days ago and they're still devastated from the hurricane from 2019. So hopefully we can help rebuild the tourists can help rebuild the islands, because it needs it.
But if you continually come out here, eventually you're going to see it. And that might deter you to go, maybe I don't want to go to the Bahamas. Maybe I'll try Puerto Rico. Maybe I'll try another place. So I could see it having an effect, for sure.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Bahamians working in the major leagues share their skills and knowledge and more hoops. Our sports is up next.
And cool temperatures sticking with us this evening as we approach the weekend. Greg is back with your extended weather when our news returns. Stay with us.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
This is Our News. Welcome back. Bahamians working in Major League Baseball lend a hand to young players, and we talk more basketball. Here's Tej Adderley with a check on sports. Tej?
Thanks, Tatia. Good evening. Welcome to Our Sports. I'm Tej Adderley. MLB coach Anton Richardson has had a pioneering career in baseball, working his way up from college through the minors to the majors before becoming the first Bahamian to coach in the big leagues. Now he's helping out the next generation. The New York Mets first base coach is leveraging his experience and connections to help Bahamian kids advance in the sport. From January 9th to the 11th, he'll host a virtual coaching clinic featuring MLB and college officials, including Greg Albarnez, bench coach of the Cleveland Guardians, Chicago White Sox pitching coach Ethan Katz, Davidson College head coach Rucker Taylor, and Ethan Bain, a Bahamian working in the White Sox front office, along with other coaches and experts. Those sessions will run from 6:45 to 8 p.m. on those nights. He'll follow that up with a showcase featuring the top Bahamian baseball players, and that will run from the 28th to the 30th of January. Now, we'll have more on the details when those events draw near. Now we head back to the hardwood where a few Bahamians hooped last night. In college, Ramad Dean helped his Fordham Rounds pull off a thrilling triple overtime win against George Washington. He had 6 points and 2 rebounds off the bench in the marathon matchup. In the association, Buddy Hield scored 10 off the bench to help his Indiana Pacers get a 142-130 win over the Milwaukee Bucks. Eric Gordon also had 10 off the bench, but his Suns lost to the LA Clippers 114-101. And DeAndre Ayton is still out with tendonitis as his Portland Trail Blazers lost to the Dallas Mavericks 126-97. Now, Ayton has a chance to make a return in Friday's rematch against Dallas, but there hasn't been any word on that from the team. That's it for sports today. I'm Tej Adderley.
Still ahead on Our News tonight, nice cool temperatures outside the Our News studios on this Thursday evening. Greg is back with more weather details right after this quick break. Stay with us.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Welcome back to Our News. Cool temperatures outside the Our News studios this evening, and according to the forecast, temperatures are expected to dip even lower this weekend. Well, Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast. Greg?
Yeah, thanks again, Natalia. Welcome back, everybody, for our final check of weather. A weak front trying to drop into the northwest Bahamas. Some isolated showers associated with that front, but that front will eventually fall apart tonight through tomorrow as it moves into the central Bahamas. Weak high pressure will be building behind that, introducing us with some nice changes in the atmosphere, but we do expect a more significant front by Saturday. That one will bring us a change for some weather. We're looking at some increasing chances for showers on Saturday to Sunday time frame. And then, of course, by early next week, we expect another front to get near, and that's going to continue to reinforce our conditions that we've been experiencing. Future forecast showing that frontal boundary dropping into the northwest Bahamas earlier today, and we expect that front, as I said, to slide towards the south, falling apart. Isolated showers still remaining with some moisture around, and then by Saturday we expect a more significant front that's going to be taking shape in the Gulf of Mexico to be approaching us. Showers, possibly some isolated thunderstorms, mainly for the extreme northern islands by that time frame. If you plan on doing any boating or beaching for the northwest Bahamas, caution flag in effect, and of course we still have some slight currents out there. Northeast to east winds once that front goes through, 15 knots, sea 3 to 5 feet. Your low tide will be at 7:48 tonight, your high tide at 2:15 in the morning. For the central and southeast Bahamas, northeast to east winds at 10 to 15 knots. They will fall light and variable at times ahead of that front. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, a couple isolated showers with the front that's going through us, and we'll keep that in the forecast through tomorrow. Saturday looks pretty nice, and then Sunday we expect that second front as it approaches us by Saturday evening into Sunday. Some showers and isolated thunderstorms possible, as I mentioned. That will take us through Monday, Tuesday clearing up, and then another front by the middle part of next week. Series of fronts coming through, so look for some isolated showers in the forecast. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks, Greg, and thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. And if you missed any of today's top stories, be sure and head over to ournews.bs. And remember, you can share your favorite stories right from the Our News Bahamas Facebook page. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
A quarter of a century in the making, and Atlantis stands taller than ever. Just behind me, this dazzling view of the resort's iconic structure is illuminated against the backdrop of the crystal clear Bahamian waters as we celebrate glamour, ultra luxury, and 25 years of pure magic that we know as the Atlantis experience. We're broadcasting from the heart of paradise here at the Atlantis Resort, and I'm beyond thrilled to be your guide on this special journey as we commemorate 25 years of unforgettable experiences and extraordinary moments at Atlantis. Tonight, we're not just celebrating a resort, we're celebrating a legend. Welcome to this special edition of On the Record. I'm your host, Jerome Sawyer. Stay tuned as we get started on the Atlantis experience on the other side of this break.
Ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
Last week, the principal, Mr. Bethel, reached out to us and asked for a total of 5 laptops. After further investigation that he needed more to complete the computer lab, and now we're here today to donate the full 25 laptops.
We realize in the business of education, we need partners. And companies like General Investment have proven themselves.
They are so excited about this to get the laptops.
Here are some answers to some commonly asked questions about our new RevX TV Guide platform. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact us. What do I do if my cable box is not powered on? Please press the cable key on your remote to power the cable box on. What do I do if a PIN error message appears on my screen? Simply press the number 1 and enter. What do I do if my TV cable box has no guide? Please remove the white cable wire and power cord for 15 seconds. Reconnect and allow the cable box to load. What do I do if the cable box is stuck in rev loading? Please remove the white cable wire and power cord for 15 seconds. Reconnect and allow the cable box to load. What do I do if I am unable to access video on demand? If you are unable to access VOD, a technical support agent will have to escalate this issue for further resolution. What do I do if I'm missing a channel in the TV guide? If you're missing channels in the TV guide, a technical support agent will have to escalate the issue for further resolution. Thank you.
This is On the Record, celebrating 25 years of Atlantis, and tonight we are pleased to welcome our featured guest who helped to run what is undoubtedly the greatest destination in this region. Atlantis President and Managing Director Audrey Oswald, along with the Senior Vice President of Government Affairs and Special Projects, Vaughn Roberts. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. And welcome to Atlantis. Thank you for having us.
And thank you so much for really opening your doors to us this week. We've had a fantastic time here on the property where I know our viewers have enjoyed this week of watching our newscast, and tonight we're certainly going to delve a little deeper. Well, the legendary resort has become synonymous with luxury, adventure, and a touch of enchantment that captures the essence of this breathtaking destination. From the iconic royal towers to the mesmerizing underwater world of the Lost Chambers, Atlantis has been a beacon of wonder for travelers from every corner of the globe. As visitors about the Bahamas, and its name is sure to come up at any point in the conversation. But before we move any further, I want to take you back 25 years to the moment we witnessed the major renaissance of Bahamian tourism and the landscape with the opening of these towers just behind us. The mystery of the Atlantis continent may be tied to a centuries-old story, but the story of Atlantis in the Bahamas started in 1994 when the late Saul Kerzner purchased the former Resorts International.
But everyone concurs about one thing, that Atlantis, continent of Atlantis, is somewhere in the ocean. So I figured, well, let this be all about the ocean and let's bring Atlantis out of the ocean.
Phase 1 included the renovation of the now beach and coral towers. 2 years later, Phase 2, the Grand Royal Towers, opened. It was an $800 million expansion. The spectacular Mayan Temple waterside complex, 6 swimming areas, the world's largest open-air marine environment with 11 million gallons of water, and the Royal Marina to host mega yachts. In total, a 14-acre waterscape of pools, waterfalls, a lazy river, and 6 exhibit lagoons, including an underwater tunnel with a shark habitat. Some of the most talented artists in the world helped to create the extraordinary vision.
But it's very, very important that technically the detail is such that it is believable, that people look at it and say, oh, wow. And even if people don't notice all the detail, they'll feel it.
In December of 1998, the Royal Towers at Atlantis officially opened, unveiling some iconic images like this that are still synonymous with the hotel even today. But at that time, it brought what could easily be described as the party of the century.
Behold, Atlantis rising from the sea!
Over 60 A-list artists, names like Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder, Stephanie Mills and Natalie Coles and Quincy Jones, to name a few, and dignitaries, including an American business mogul named Donald Trump, descended on the Bahamas for the party of the century. For a young 20-something-year-old reporter, it was the assignment of a lifetime. As a part of the 2-day live broadcast, I was able to snag some of the biggest names in the business: Oprah Winfrey, Natalie Cole, Stephanie Mills, Casey and the Sunshine Band, and Sidney Poitier. All filed past our cameras for the 2 days. The Royal Towers brought with it a 1,200-room hotel and $650 million resort and casino with museum-quality works of art, glass sculptures valued at $1 million each, and a rejuvenated gaming environment. Tourism in the Bahamas was about to undergo the greatest renaissance in decades. I still get goosebumps having been there 25 years ago. Audrey, I want to start with you looking at that. What do you feel when you see that and know, just looking at what that time meant for us?
Well, it was such an exciting time. And although I was not here, I had the great fortune of knowing the Kerzners and being part of it from a distance, if you will. But, it makes me think every day, keep top of mind, how do we meet that expectation that Saul set way back in 1998 with the opening. So in everything that we do, I always think of him frequently to say, whatever it is, I want him to be proud.
Sure. Vaughn, from a Bahamian perspective, this meant so much for the country. When you look at that, what is the responsibility that you feel, for what this property means for the country?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's not just the moment in 1998 and what it meant for the Bahamas in terms of the transformation of tourism, but it's every moment since then. As a young professional, you came to know Atlantis as being sort of like the engine of the economy for many years. And it wasn't obviously until Bahamar came on the scene recently that the economy was expanded and tourism was expanded in a significant way. But all I knew kind of growing up as a professional was Atlantis, and Atlantis really set the standard for the experience in the resort here, but also brought more broadly for what we were going to experience as Bahamians in the community. And so now today, with that backdrop, it's a significant responsibility that I take very seriously to sort of secure the future of Atlantis, because it has meant so much to so many people and it will continue to mean so much for our Bahamas.
Audrey, what has it been like around here as you're celebrating the 25 years? You know, when I was reminded that we were celebrating this 25th anniversary early in the year, I paused and I said, has it been that long? But give us a sense of what it's been like around the property.
Well, there's a lot of excitement around it. Certainly our team members are very excited. Our guests are thrilled to have the opportunity to join in the celebration. A few weeks ago, we had our celebration, which we made sure we held it in the casino. We wanted everybody to see the newly renovated casino, but what was most important to me was that it wasn't just for invited guests. Everybody that was at the resort, including all of our team members, because the party was held in a public place, they all got to celebrate. And it was a great celebration, one that made us all very proud to be part of the Atlantis family.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the milestones and achievements that have been most significant from this property from your perspective.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's definitely been some very significant economic impacts of this. I mean, if you just think about the level of the number of jobs that have been created in the economy, at some point in the past, we were up to like 8,500 jobs, direct jobs. And obviously there's a spin-off from that, from indirect and, you know, our suppliers hiring people, the taxi industry, everybody employing. So the spin-off was much greater than that, probably up to 12,000 jobs at one point. Those jobs get, you know, those employees get wages, and that puts money into the economy. There's been a number of people who've been able to build very successful large businesses here at Atlantis, starting at Atlantis and growing into significant businesses. And we should also remember that, you know, there's been a dramatic increase in the number of visitors coming to our shores. And those visitors not only spend money with Atlantis, but they spend money elsewhere, including the taxi, the straw markets, and all that stuff. And then finally, you know, the government and our economy in terms of the gross domestic product has seen significant impact resulting from Atlantis over the years. And so, you know, it's been far-reaching. And usually when governments undertake projects like this and make concessions to do these, they always want to think about how it's going to pay back to the people of the Bahamas. And I think this project has paid back by long shots.
Audrey, looking back over the past 25 years, what challenges did Atlantis face in the early days? And, you know, from your perspective, how has the resort evolved really to overcome some of those obstacles?
I think that, you know, one of the greatest challenges in the early days was people didn't know what to expect. So, you know, hospitality, while there was a hospitality and tourism industry in the Bahamas, nothing to the level of Atlantis. So it was a little bit challenging to get the training programs together.